Okay, quick question for you. What exactly connects a highly toxic weed killer to a massive booming aviation market? I know, it sounds like the setup to some weird riddle, right? But believe it or not, these are actually distinct pieces of a much larger and honestly super fascinating puzzle. Welcome to today's Explainer. We're looking at the critical updates shaping a nation in motion. We've got 5 incredibly diverse but fundamentally significant developments happening across India right now, and we're going to unpack all of them.
So, here's our roadmap for this explainer. It's going to be a rapid-fire download. We'll start by looking at digitizing retail supply chains, then look at a rare Himalayan butterfly, head down to a strategic Nicobar Island airport, talk about banning toxic agricultural chemicals, and wrap up with India's booming aviation market.
All right, let's dive right into it. Section 1. Digitizing retail supply chains.
If you follow India's commercial landscape at all, you already know that the traditional Kirana store, your local neighborhood corner shop, is the absolute backbone of daily retail. Well, recently, the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, along with the Open Network for Digital Commerce, held a consumer packaged goods roundtable. And the big topic of discussion? An initiative called DigiDukaan. This is a massive, massive push by the ONDC to bring these traditional stores into the digital age, specifically for business-to-business or B2B procurement. For us, the everyday consumers, this eventually translates to neighborhood shops being just as efficiently stocked and managed as those giant modern supermarkets.
So think of DigiDukaan as a seamless digital bridge. The goal is to digitally connect Step 1, the local retailers, with Step 2, the distributors, and Step 3, the massive consumer brands. This initiative is designed to dramatically improve efficiency across the entire retail supply chain. Instead of that old, fragmented manual ordering system, you now have a unified digital network. It's streamlining exactly how goods get from the factory line directly to your neighborhood shelf.
Moving right along to Section 2, a rare Himalayan butterfly.
Let's journey up to the pristine environment of Arunachal Pradesh, where researchers have documented an absolutely stunning new find. Meet Chonalata albistricta, or as it's more commonly known, the narrow-banded wall. This specific butterfly was recently discovered at the Mayodiya Pass, located in the lower Dibang Valley district. This area is tucked right into the Himalayas and nearby Asian high-altitude regions. It's exactly the kind of specific, incredibly rugged terrain where this small group of mountain butterflies thrives.
Now, what's truly fascinating here, and I mean really fascinating, is just how incredibly rare this find is. Chonala albistricta is only the 10th known species in the entire Chonala genus worldwide. 10. And even more remarkable for local biodiversity trackers, it's just the 2nd species of this genus ever recorded in India. It's a really powerful reminder of just how much of the natural world in these remote, high-altitude ecosystems is still out there waiting to be uncovered.
Okay, from the mountains down to the deep south. Section 3, Strategic Nicobar Island Airport.
Now let's talk about the sheer scale of this development, because it is huge. The government of India has committed to a 13,000 crore investment under the Great Nicobar Project. That massive budget is entirely dedicated to building a brand new greenfield civil military airport. And greenfield simply means this facility is being built from the ground up on completely undeveloped land. So this isn't just some minor runway upgrade. We are talking about a colossal infrastructure play located squarely on Great Nicobar Island. To really understand this strategic decision, we have to look at the alternatives. Usually, when you're looking to boost capabilities in a region, the standard move is to just expand what you already have, right? In this case, that would have meant expanding the existing INS Baz Naval Airfield. But the government deliberately chose a different path here. They opted to construct an entirely new facility rather than just tacking on runways to the older infrastructure. And that signals a need for a massive leap in capacity, a leap that a simple expansion just couldn't handle.
And understanding why this specific region matters so much really becomes clear when you look at the history of INS Baz. It was commissioned in 2012 near Campbell Bay and holds the title of the first air station in the Nicobar Islands. Its ongoing role is absolutely critical for the region. It handles intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, or ISR. This existing outpost already plays a major role in monitoring the Indian Ocean. So that perfectly contextualizes why adding a massive new 13,000 crore civil military airport right nearby is of such incredibly high strategic and defensive importance.
All right, shifting gears a bit. Section 4, Banning Toxic Agricultural Chemicals.
So we are currently witnessing this slow but steady domino effect across India as state governments really wake up to the dangers of a synthetic herbicide known as paraquat. Kerala actually led the charge here, becoming the very first state to ban it way back in 2011.
That was eventually followed by the state of Odisha, and most recently, Telangana has stepped up, becoming the third state in India to implement a strict ban on this chemical.
You might be wondering, why the bans? Well, these state governments felt forced to take immediate action because of its extreme toxicity. Paraquat, or paraquat dichloride, is incredibly dangerous. And worse, there is literally no specific antidote if someone is exposed or poisoned. Yet, despite these massive health risks, it's been widely used to control weeds and grass. It's also utilized as a desiccant, which means it's applied to crops right before harvest just to dry them out. And sometimes it's even used as a plant growth regulator. But ultimately, for these three states, the severe health risks simply outweighed its agricultural utility for sure.
And finally, looking up to the skies. Section 5. India's booming aviation market.
India has officially defined a massive new position on the world stage. According to recent data from the Official Airline Guide, or OAG, India has officially become the third largest domestic aviation market on the entire globe. That's right, by surpassing major markets like Brazil and Indonesia, India now sits right behind only the United States and China in terms of total domestic aviation capacity. This shift is huge. It means more connectivity, more business travel, and a massive boost to the broader economy.
But the big question now is, how is the country maintaining and supporting all this explosive growth? Well, the government isn't just letting it happen passively. They are taking deliberate, strategic steps to strengthen the civil aviation sector. This includes aggressively developing new international aviation hubs to handle the influx of traffic. They are also establishing crucial maintenance, repair, and overhaul, or MRO facilities, so planes can be serviced domestically without needing to be flown overseas. And all of this is tied together by a newly prepared international aviation hub strategy aimed at thoroughly strengthening the underlying aviation infrastructure to support this impressive number 3 global ranking.
Wow. Okay, we have covered some incredible ground in this explainer today. We looked at the ONDC bringing neighborhood Kirana stores into the digital B2B network. We discovered that incredibly rare narrow-banded wall butterfly up in the high Himalayas. We analyzed the strategic implications of a massive new 13,000 crore airport in the Nicobar Islands. We tracked the vital, life-saving state bans on the toxic herbicide paraquat. And finally, we saw India take its place as the third largest domestic aviation market in the world. So looking at this incredibly diverse slate of updates, I'll leave you with this. Which of these 5 developments do you believe will have the most profound impact on India's future? Think about it. Keep exploring these topics, and thanks for learning with us today.